I've been 3D printing Apple accessories. It started as a curiosity project. I thought maybe I'll print a stand or a cable tidy, just a few helpful bits. But a few weeks in, I'd gone full mad scientist, printing cages, cases, even mice. Not actual mice, like mice. And I'd gone full Johnny Ives, creating all the accessories Apple hadn't designed yet. The best part? I'm still a 3D printing beginner. Hi, it's Simon. This one is really good fun, and big thanks to today's video partner, Bamboo Lab, for making this possible with their surprisingly accessible A1 printer. For a few months now, I've been using it as my secret weapon. More on that later, including how I set it up. But first, let me show you the best Apple accessories I've found and 3D printed that genuinely improved my life and setup. Some of these prints are genius. Some didn't live up to the hype and proved that Apple might have been right not to make them. First up in the print queue, iPhone accessories, probably the most tempting category for 3D printing. Because let's face it, Apple doesn't really give you much other than the phone. Yeah, you get a cable, but no grip, case, stand, charging block. I can't print a charging block. But the accessory I was most excited to make? This. The Mocha mobile phone cage. It's a modular rig that you can print for your iPhone that turns it into a proper filming setup. You've got mounting rails, cold shoe slots, threaded inserts, all designed to let you attach mics, lights, handles, filters, basically anything that you can find to make it a pro filming setup. And check this out, a Bluetooth monitor from SmallRig that can attach to your phone, but also this rig. Very cool. This thing printed beautifully on the Bamboo Labs A1, no supports, clean layers, tight tolerances. I was surprised by how well it handled the mounting threads and rail edges actually. Now that said, this thing needs quite a few extra parts, screws, rods, magnets and all of that. But that actually all comes with the kit that you can also purchase from MakerWorld. So this is kind of somewhere between a product you buy and a product you print. But once assembled, it's really impressive. Honestly, with setups like this, I can see why Danny Boyle just shot 28 days later on a rig of iPhones. So, if a zombie apocalypse movie can be filmed on a cage a bit like this, I think I'm justified in printing it. And by the way, all of these things I'm printing, I've listed the maker's original files below so you can check them out. Now, while we're talking about Apple EDC, there's also this neat AirPods Pro 2 case I printed. It's not revolutionary, but it's got a nice tactile grip. It feels snug, I like the rugged look, and it's one of those small upgrades that really helps AirPods survive your bag or your pocket. Now, I loved this orange design, but that said, it broke really quickly. But then again, you can just print another. Now, I also tried printing a couple of Apple pencil cases. This one is sleek and flat, and you can put spare tips in it. And this one is a cylindrical capsule that kind of makes your pencil look like a prop from a sci-fi film. Both do the job, and I actually prefer the more playful design. The cap has this nice snap to it, and it's much harder to lose in your bag. Okay, time for an important detour then, because we need to talk for a minute about the printer that started all this for me. I was genuinely surprised how easy it was to get the A1 printer up and running. This thing basically guides you through everything on its screen, and there's a good guide in the box. Bed leveling, filament loading, even the first calibration print. Although I did mess that up, but you'll have to watch my previous video on starting 3D printer as a beginner if you want to know more on that one. It's fast, like quietly preparing to ruin your other printers fast. And that smooth core XY movement system makes the prints come out super sharp. You can even change the nozzles to say 0.2mm nozzle to really get clean prints. It's kind of wild that this much quality comes from something in this price range. Oh, and here's a fun one. If you get the Bamboo A1 combo, you also get the AMS unit, which lets you print using multiple filaments in one job. Now that could be just to have a backup filament spool so that when your first one runs out, it carries on, but I loaded it up with a few colors and I've printed things like this rather cool mouse we'll talk about in a minute, which is in multi-tone filaments. And watching the printer auto switch spools mid-print is very cool. It's a proper game changer for visual projects, especially logos, signage, or decorative prints, where you want to control the color without painting it by hand. Now, if you are considering your first printer, honestly, this is a fantastic option. I've dropped a link in the description if you want to check out the A1 combo. But stick around because the next few prints got weirdly good. And if you're enjoying this so far, you should probably go and click the subscribe button. I've got more ideas and experiments coming up that I think will help you build a cleaner, smarter setup, along with other great tech and productivity stuff on the channel. And on that note, let's shift from your pockets to some desk vibes. I printed a bunch of things in this category, hoping to add that classic Apple minimalism without the classic Apple price tag. First, and kind of successful, was the iPad Studio stand. It's a chunky architectural base designed to hold your iPad at proper display angle and looks a bit kind of pseudo studio display. It's solid, prints in one big piece, and has kind of a geometric brutalism to it that makes it feel cool. And if you're into how this iPad looks so minimal with the stand, I did some of my own customization with the icons and covers too. I have some tutorials on the channel if you're an iPad person or an iPhone person and want to get some minimal looks, and you can find my minimal icon packs over at bettercreating.com. Okay, so that's a simple stand, but desk prints can go much further. How about this? A fully functioning 3D printed wireless mouse. You'll need to grab the electronics kit separately, which I got at Maker World, and you'll have to do a little bit of electronic tinkering, but when you've got it together, it's impressively accurate. I wouldn't say this is replacing my Logitech Lift mouse anytime soon, but as a DIY build or a weekend project, very fun, very geeky. Now, one thing I didn't expect to love so much was how seamless Bamboo Labs' software ecosystem is. The Bamboo Handy app lets me set up, monitor, and manage prints right from my phone, and the fact that I can browse the models on Maker World, pick one, and then send it straight to the printer, all from an iPhone, is kind of ridiculous. I also printed a couple of cable organizers. This one for my MacBook charger was from the excellent but more chaotic site Thingiverse, chaotic in a good way. These are the sort of things that genuinely improve your setup with barely any effort. The charger clip is a particular bit of genius, wrapping a long USB-C lead neatly round it, and it even leaves space for the adapter. There's also these clean cable clips that I tried, just a tiny design that hugs together and keeps them going in the right direction on your desk. It's so simple but really brilliant, and I printed 4 of these in a batch, and now every power lead or mic cable actually stays where it's meant to. Small print, big win. And finally in this category, the iPhone standby dock. A stunning bit of work by Scott Yu Jan in collaboration with Overwork. Scott designed this dock with minimalist precision, turning your iPhone into a retro-inspired bedside assistant during standby mode. You fit the MagSafe charger into it, and it fits iPhones from 12 to 16 and just nails that Dieter Rams balance of form and function. I printed mine in a matte grey PLA, and honestly, it feels like something Apple might have made if they 3D printed accessories. Anyway, on that note, I'd love to hear from you guys. What's your Apple accessory you wish existed? Drop your ideas in the comments, and hey, maybe we'll talk about it in the future. Okay, not everything I printed was strictly necessary. Some of it was just fun. And top of that list is this. It's a retro Apple Mac inspired trash can. Yeah, it's a bin, but styled like the original Macintosh. My dad actually owned one. I played Space Invaders on it and drew. And with this screen slot that opens, it's kind of hilarious and kind of perfect. It looks better than most desktop bins, and I've now had 2 friends ask me where I got it. So fair warning, print one and you're suddenly the person with the cool bin. Then, a print that genuinely deserves an award, a charging dock for the Apple Magic Mouse. Now, this clever little print lets you dock and charge your mouse from one side without turning it into a dead turtle every time. Simple idea, great execution. So look, I've got to say that this little project has unlocked a new creative itch, from solving problems Apple never quite did to designing a cleaner, smarter workspace. It's been really fun to add a bit of form and function into my setup. Massive thanks to Bamboo Labs for sponsoring this one. The A1 has been surprisingly brilliant as a creative tool. So if you're curious, there's a link in the description. I genuinely think it's a great option for beginners, but also if you just want something that works with minimal fuss. But before you go, having great accessories is only half the battle. Once you have the right physical setup and the right digital systems, everything clicks and you have this super optimized workflow. That's why I think you should watch one of these 2 videos next to discover how I can help you with just that. This one for my favorite Apple accessories to make the most of the Apple ecosystem, or this one down here for how to customize and optimize your digital setup on your screens and your home pages to really make the most of what's there. It would be great if you click my face to subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you on the next one.